Grown Black folks talk good tactical sense. Tell people what you're doing when you're already doing it or when it's done. Life is full of interruptions. Life is absolutely full of interruptions. And so when you are in the process of preparing to do something like yesterday, we talked about professional party crashing. You found a way to crash a $1,200 event. You get good at this $2,000 event. You get good at this $10,000 event. You get good at this. You keep on going. you know, People around you are likely to tell you, girl, you sure you want to do that? I mean, and I don't have people around me like that, but I mean, that's part of my process. Those people do exist. They would have existed. So you have to learn as you're on the move with and beginning to move away from people that are not as much on the move, that you have to not tell people what's going on till you've done it. Or at least you're so far into the process, you cannot be discouraged or stopped. Now, on the first video that I made about professional party crashing, I was already on the move when you saw that video. I had stepped out to a beautiful sunny spot in the streets of San Francisco on my way just to make that video. And that was when you knew what I was about to do that day. I didn't mention it in advance. I worked on that for a week. But I don't need your attention like that. I don't need to be big up. But what I don't need to have happen, because I'm a confident woman, but everybody needs to protect their mental health. You need to protect your confidence. Of course, there had to be a gentleman who came through who wanted to pick on the one part of my physical appearance that he felt he could. Of course, he got blocked and deleted so fast. You will never see that comment. But by the time he posted that comment, I was already doing what I was going to be doing. I was already doing what he wasn't going to have access to me doing. And you kind of have to realize at this moment, Black men are not necessarily happy. Well, actually, not even this moment. That was May 3rd. If you saw my previous video, you know the distinction I'm about to make. Black men of that type do not want to see Black women like me moving into positions where they will generally not have access. Because if fat, Black, aging women do not take up these men, nobody will. So the fact that I could be fly and be going into an environment and not even have to have the money to be there is frustrating to a lot of people because they don't know how to do it. Although I put the blueprint out there, I'm not trying to hoard. I'm not trying to keep y'all from getting to where the money reside. If y'all can get there, we may talk a little bit more about that later on because I've picked up even more clues since then. But you don't give people access to your headspace by telling them in advance what you're about to do if it is something that your peer group cannot readily understand. And sometimes you don't even tell them while you're in process. You just tell them, this is what I did. Now, today, if you looked at my attire, you might have thought to yourself, oh, something's about to go down today. I dropped you a hint on purpose. Before I was a professional journalist, before I was a school teacher, even before I was a Sunday school teacher, although not that much before, because I started really early, I was a musician, a performing artist. And the key part I want you to understand is the performing artist part. Because performing artist is about communication. Now, it takes many forms. There are performing artists who are dancers, there are performing artists who are comedians, but everything is part of the communication and everything is about building interest and intrigue. So the fact that I let you sit there and wonder why is she dressed up today is a part of that. So I dropped you a hint that something is going to happen today. But today, I'm not talking about what it is right away. I will let you wonder about it and come back because the skills of being a content creator overlap with my skills as a performing artist. Communication takes many forms. Now, I'm not playing with you. I'm also showing you something. I'm teaching you by example. If I had not dropped the hint at all that this is what is going on, you would have come back to find out because that's just what happens. I'm letting you know, no, it's not as serious as what I was doing last week at this time. No, it's not. And in due time, you'll find out what it is. But in order to practice what it is that I preach, I'll let y'all know when it's done. I'll let y'all know when it's done. I dropped you a hint because I wanted to. I could have still been in my casual clothes that I've done my other videos in. for yesterday and today. I could have done that, but I'm dropping you a hint so that you know, you don't have to, but if you're a performer, you can, and if you're a content creator, you can build intrigue. But the point is, you don't give people an opportunity to discourage you. By the time you see me dressed like this, I'll be on my way to go do what it is that I'm doing. And you find out when I am good and ready. And this is the attitude that you have to have in a world in which Black women are discouraged from moving up. There are a lot of forces involved with this. There is a permanent underclass being built. And it has been desired since Black people were in slavery that Black people birth the next Black women birth the next generation of people that are going to be in that underclass. We only were kept in that position for 246 years. Do not think that this does not exist. In addition, there are a certain number of Black men who know that if somehow we manage to get into certain spaces and get certain knowledge and choose not to share it with them, then what ends up happening is more of us escape from the underclass, and then they end up under us. They do not want this. This is why some insecure individual picked on what they thought they could, because it triggered that. And I need to put a pin on May 3rd. If on May 3rd, when a certain individual who many men felt were giving them the keys to being able to become a high value man, if they were already feeling insecure like that, then imagine how today, a week later, when that man has gone on to meet eternity, how many of these men must feel. So you have to let people know what you're doing when you're already doing it or you are done. This is good tactical sense. Good tactical sense. I'm the same person I was when I made the video that's going to come out earlier than this. What you dress is not a how you dress on a particular day is not a reference to what you may be doing on any other day. But if you don't want to attract attention from people who are going to attempt to discourage you, it behooves you not to let too many things be known in advance, unless you're someone like me who is a teacher. And because I am a teacher at heart, some things I will do by example so that you have a chance to learn. I'm always conscious, like I said in the last video, of the younger and little sisters. I remember what it was like to live in a neighborhood that had a crack house. I remember not being able to play in front of my house for years and to live in that kind of environment. So I have some sense of what our younger and little sisters are going through, and that they need a way out that does not involve them being sucked up by predators of many types in their desperation. So it's necessary for fat, middle-aged Black women like me to do a little bit more than I would naturally do, because if I can make it, so can the rest of y'all. But however, this comes with the reality that there are people who really do not want women like me to make it out. Because again, if I can go, then that leaves other people without an excuse. If I can go, the mammy who they would like to have stay behind and be desperate enough in the next 3 decades, 40s, 50s, and 60s, to accept one of them and take care of them when they reach the same age or not. Because if it's not, sometimes they don't make it. But they're hoping women like me stay behind, and they don't want to see that. And there are also Black women who don't want to see women like me actually acquire the kind of skill and tell others how to make it out, because their power is going to discipline as well. When Black women actually do work their way to becoming actually empowered, you will have absolutely no use for most of the present Black women empowerment creators. But I want you to make it. So occasionally I have to drop a hint, and I have to help you understand good tactical sense. Get into the habit of letting people know what you're doing, if you must, when it is done. The flip side of this is And it's a separate video to do this, but I'm not going to do it today, but I'm going to just put the thought out there for you. You have to build your confidence to the point that you do not need external attention seeking. A lot of people need to be hyped up. You got to learn how to hype yourself up. A lot of people feel like they need to have their friends and the likes and the shares and all the rest on what it is that they're doing. If you do that, you're opening the door to be destroyed. Because the same people who, if you need external validation, people can also take it from you and cripple you. That's a whole different video about how you get past that. Of course, now y'all already know on that video, I'm going to put the life coaching and therapy resources, and I might put it in this one as well. But you have to get out of the habit of needing external motivation to do everything. And that's how you have the power to be silent until the right time. And let people know what you're doing if you must, when it's being done or is done. Okay. Good tactical sense, round 2. By the time you see this, I'm going to be doing whatever it is I'm doing today. And I may come back eventually and report on it. Y'all have a good day, though. I'm not going to be out there doing anything stupid. So don't worry about that. I realize I have a standard to uphold. And I can go out there and do anything stupid today. Just something a little bit different. And I'll report on it in due time. All right. You have a good day now. Goodbye.